Watch the heat on the screen. Fuck! Well, that's what happens when you're shit. Purveyors of violence and mayhem. They're poised, they're ready, they're wild and
Yes, they will, and
we're ready to roll. Oh, shit, and that's a solid blow there.
I hit you so hard, you'll think I'm your father.
Let's make this interesting.
Oh my God! You're absolutely disgusting! That's the shit we like to see! Oh yes! That was a lovely note!
The word investment puts you in what is called financial services. It is deemed high risk. Again, I'm not saying change the name. Look at our name, credit. But I can tell you that we deal with automated denials too. Not as many now because we obviously have so many trade lines. It doesn't matter. But it can prevent you, especially in the early stages, from getting some kind of credit. It doesn't matter with loans. Loans are going to know your industry anyway. But with some automated approvals, it will affect your ability. Do you change it or not? My advice is to move forward with what you have and see if you keep running into barriers. If you're running into barriers and getting denied, you may want to consider changing it if you set up your business credibly and you think that that's the reason that you're getting denied. If you've not opened a business yet, I'm not sure what the question is yet, but if you haven't opened a business yet or finance suite still works, as you've seen, we help you through the process even from step one. So we help you do it right from the beginning. We help you come in and set up the business entity. We help you set up your EIN. We help you get your name. You can see the finance suite will fly through step one pretty quick if your business is already established. But if you're not established and you're brand new, well, congratulations. We're helping you do this right here from the beginning the right way. I've got friends that sell just step one for $2,000 to $3,000. They own a call center. They just help businesses set up initially. And business setup services are $2,000 to $3,000. That's just what you get in step one. So we'll help you through that process in step one, even as a brand new business. So absolutely, we can definitely help you do that. Based on the 3 ways you outlined to get initial credit, if you have excellent personal credit score, is that the fastest way to establish the initial 5 trade lines? Yeah, it is. It is. You can do both. If you find vendors in step 3 you want, I recommend you do it. But I really like and I love the unsecured program. We do this too. Matter of fact, several of the credit lines in here we do as well. The one that I said you can get up to $100,000 with no credit check, we have that one. We love that credit line. The unsecured business financing where you get up to $100,000, we go through these programs because we vet stuff before we put it into our clients. The new credit line we just got access to yesterday, we applied for that today to get approved. We don't even really use a lot of our credit lines. We do it just to make sure they work as advertised from the lender. But yeah, this is the fastest way. Get this program, get with our team, we'll help you get this. This will put 5 trade lines on your credit report pretty quick within about a month, or probably about a month. It's not a ton faster than vendor credit. Vendor credit, if you get vendor credit right now, it'll report next month. With this, it'll report a little faster, but not much. So yeah, it's about as fast as the vendor option. Both are about split. The difference with this option is you're usually putting 5 to 15,000 higher individual limits on the reports. Because the limits are so high from the beginning, then the rest of the credit you get after shortages, etc., has pretty high limits as well. So this is the fastest way to get much higher limits on it. Vendor credit isn't a lot slower than this. It's about 8 when it comes to speed-wise, so you know. Legit, great question. At PO Box and Google Voice, oh my gosh, John, you have 2 negatives. You got to get rid of those. You cannot use PO Box for absolutely failures. You cannot use Google Voice. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But a lot of credit issuers, for some reasons that I see when we talk to Google Voice, we found, not sure why. Yes, you do need to get both. You need to get a real physical business address, virtual address, or use a home address, one or the other. The other problem with the home address, guys, a lot of people don't know this, and guys and gals, I should say, correct, is the home address. Dun & Bradstreet will now put a street view of your actual address on your credit report. So we have some clients really freaking out because they have street views of their home on their credit reports, which is what the reporting agencies are starting to do. Another reason to consider using a virtual address. But yeah, you cannot use a PO Box. You cannot use Google Voice. Those two are big no-nos. Is it harder for an online business to get business credit? No, it's not. And nonprofits and profits are the same too. It really does not matter. But just remember, Lorenzo, if you want to be credible and really not even look like a home address, well then get a real physical business address or just use a virtual address. It's a shortcut to make you just look as credible as businesses that have a physical office. Does having $20K in business credit with personal guarantee with Chase, will that be a problem going forward? No, it's not. You're going to want to build your credit to get it without the personal guarantee unless you want to continue to be liable to your business. Still, I have a Capital One Smart Card. It reports to my consumer credit reports too. I don't use it because it reports to my consumer credit reports. It's my card of last resort. We never need a last resort card, so we don't use it. So make sure it reports on your business credit reports, not your consumer, and keep it open. That's a great account to have, even with the PG, while you continue to build business credit without the personal guarantee. Is using a mail forwarding service helpful? Sure. You just never want to use a PO box or UPS address. You use a physical business address or an actual virtual address. And virtual address does mail forward. It's the same thing. Don't use, like iPostal is a service that makes it look like it's a virtual address, but it's really a PO box. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. So just make sure it's a real physical business address that you're using as the address. What's the difference between Ultimate and the Executive Partner Solution? Ultimate program, if you look at our normal programs, Ultimate is where we set up all your marketing materials for you, your PowerPoints, your free guides, your reports. We customize all that stuff for you. We give you access to the same sales funnel that we use. You get our emails or you wouldn't be here. So you'll get the access to that as well. And we set up your sales funnel for you. Executive is an add-on. It's $99 a month. It's an add-on subscription that you can add on to the program. And in doing so, you can get access to add sales reps. You get access to the sales rep training. You get access to come in and be able to get paid half of what we actually get paid on any funding your clients get. By the way, we don't charge clients at all for funding. The lenders give us a referral fee, and we split that with you. Sometimes it can be thousands of dollars. I mean, I've seen we write out multiple checks for $10,000 or more for funding commissions alone. So it's really, really cool way to go. So the Ultimate program, the Executive, just gives you a bunch of unique access here that you don't typically get. And the Ultimate, we actually set up all the marketing materials and those type of things for you. I don't see it here. Oh yeah, you can come here. We're under this video, which by the way, this video, well, you don't need the video. I just showed you everything you get. If you come right here, this will actually give you an investment details. You can see what our actual investments are. You can click here to see what comes with Executive. All of our pricing, if you want any questions on the investment details or when you sell a finance suite, come to creditsuite.com/webinar. Come right here under this video. Click here for important details on investment options. This will explain it, and it'll even say click here for Executive. This is all the stuff you get with our Executive program. So you're getting all different, you can enroll. You get a bunch of different stuff with our executives. So I just kind of showed you where that actually is on this creditsuite.com/webinar page. Stephanie, great question. What's the difference? Excuse me, Megan. I'm sorry, I did not mean to call you Stephanie. I was answering Stephanie's question earlier. Is the price you gave the ultimate package? The ultimate package is a $500 discount from what you find on our normal pricing option here. So I didn't include it in this webinar, but we will give you the $500 discount here. And also, if you're paying one pay, there's a bunch of incentives with the ultimate as well, including you get your first $700 unit for business credit building. Well, that's going to drive me crazy. Sometimes I think my web guy just likes messing with me because I'm ADD and these things aren't even, which will drive me nuts. So you can get that discount from the webinar on Ultimate. You just have to let our team know, and we will give you that same discount. And make sure on VIP on Ultimate that I'm looking at our regular pricing now. You can come in here and click on the one payment to see the incentives that you actually get. If you do one pay, there's a bunch of cool incentives as well. So hopefully that answers your question. With much gratitude, great webinar. Thank you very much. Mary, look, my goal is to give you guys a bunch of good value. And then, hey, if you want to work with us, I gave you a path forward as well. If you just wanted to hang out, just get the free info, well, great. I mean, you have the best of both worlds, so I appreciate that feedback. Is having only an 800 number enough, or do you need a local number? I answered that question. You don't need the local number. Does this work for nonprofit? Absolutely. All nonprofits can build business credit. We even have financing that can work for you. I have an auto business and do auto sales. That's awesome, Sean. Congratulations. I love your industry. Details on auto repair. Would it be a good idea to make a different website for each service since auto sales is considered high risk? Well, that's actually a pretty good question. Auto repair and sales, these aren't really considered to be high risk in the lending world in a lot of cases. So I don't separate them. I keep them all together. If you start to run into denial issues, I'd consider it, but I don't think you will get denied based on that. I think you're okay. What were the rest of the starter vendors that will give initial credit to begin with? I heard Uline and Quill. I went over Uline, Quill, and I went over Wells Fargo as well. They have a secured credit card. Another one is Strategic Network Solutions. And then you saw a bunch more in our finance suite, but the reason for that is because we have a bunch of exclusive ones, but you wouldn't be able to access those anyways, because again, they offer business credit because we help them offer business credit so they can help us. I haven't done a Bradstreet number company with an EIN. That's the starter phase. But of course, as you saw in this webinar, there's a lot more that will still need to be done. Does a low bank balance affect business credit? No, it doesn't, Patrick. But as you build business credit, and in the Business Credit Builder Step 1, we go over some things about your bank account you should know about, including the fact that you have a bank credit score many people don't know about. It's called a bank rating. And if you keep less than $10,000 in your business bank account on average over 90 days, then what will happen is you'll have a low bank rating and you will not be able to get loans or credit from your bank. So your ability to get money from your bank is going to be inhibited because of that bank balance, but it will not at all affect your ability to build business credit. How do you properly report tax to ITS? Do it in 5 years or less when you're starting a new business. Oh, wow, Roosevelt, I'm not the guy for that. I talked to an accountant about that. Again, how to properly report your taxes, it's just not for me in this webinar. That's just not my area, so I can tell you how I do it, but I don't know if it's right or wrong. So my advice there is to get help with an accountant. I'm not trying to blow you off. It's just I'll be the first to raise my hand and say you're asking a question I'm not the most equipped to answer. And Roosevelt, it's a great question. I'm just not the most equipped to answer. Should I change the name? I don't think you should change the name. Auto really isn't high risk. There's a lot of industries that are, but we don't see our clients in the auto industry have a hard time getting through. So I would continue with the name, continue with all those being under one umbrella. If you start getting denied, then consider some changes, and our advisors can talk you through that process as well. I'm missing a few things like 401 with business address. We have 2 credit cards with personal credit, 1 pay closed by then, 1 default. Can we still fix it? Of course, you can always fix it.
Yeah.
Business credit is much easier to fix
What?
than consumer credit, and you don't have a situation here. You just, in the
What?
beginning stage, you need to do a little bit more building to start to get a personal credit. That is easy for us to do. Great presentation. We'll be calling tomorrow, Dean. Very much appreciative. I really appreciate that. You guys mean a lot more than then we're doing 25. Thank you. In addition to making money on selling the credit to me, we also make money on the funding fees for our clients. Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple ways to do it. The reason you see commissions here is commissions here are called stock funding commissions here, and we give you a ton of resources that you can actually access that will help you too. We give you marketing flyers just for funding, for example, which we don't find can't access it without it.
Go.
If I have it, can't access it. We teach you a finance cheat sheet so you can see our programs, you can see all these different types of things, so you can access all this type of stuff to get a summary of all the programs we offer, rates, terms, stuff like that you need. You get all kinds of training here on the financing. You get training on the financing through the partner training section. A finance commitment letter is where you get people to agree to buy the finance fee if you get a financing. We give you a process overview. We talk to you about how we split the commission.
Hey, baby, what's you about today?
Marketing videos and marketing flyers. We give you an overview of the finance stages the clients are in, detailed funding guidelines. So we give you everything you need to know to talk to customers about the financing as well. These are all videos you get as part of executive on our funding program. So yeah, we teach you everything you need to know. And then as part of our executive, we basically just split commissions with you. So, sometimes you'll make $200, $300 commission on a deal. Sometimes you'll make $2-3 grand or more. Our average payout commission for our partners is $2,000 per funded deal. That's average. So again, you get paid when we get paid. We basically get the deal done. We fund the deal. When we get paid, we get half of what we get paid. Okay, so when we get paid, we split that basically on most funding programs, split it in half, and we get half. So depending on the loan type and the loan amount, will determine the kind of money that you can actually make on that. Tina, thank you, Ty. That was awesome. I thank you very much for contacting our team. On your Renata speech. Oh, congratulations. So Tina, if you can, and you're still here, looks like you are, let me know what you think about Megan. I need to know. She is winner. I hear she's pretty awesome. You probably listened to her talk. She's phenomenal. She's taught me almost everything I know about business credit building. I am her student as well. So let me know. Type in a comment. Let me know how you think with Megan and how she does with the talk when she talks to Renata. For those of you who don't know, Renata is phenomenal. They're the best and biggest real estate educational company in the country. So if you want ever want anything to do flipping real estate, she's something to look into. What's the fastest you could build this credit, be done to finish the process? Well, there is no finishing the process, right? Building this credit the same as consumer credit is really a never-ending process. But remember, how long it takes you to get credit depends on how fast you apply for credit, how much you're applying for. You can make it to the very end, the top tier, the 7th tier here, or the 4th tier, or step 7. You can make it to the very end in about 4 months or less if you're doing it, working with it, and going through it as fast as possible. But remember, you're getting a ton of credit along the way. During that 4 months, you've already got Amazon, Staples, and Office Depot, and most of that credit. That's to get to the cash credit. The auto financing takes about 4 months. It's the fastest way for you to be able to do that. I have good credit, but those two accounts I'm sure are hurting me in some way. We can definitely look at it for you. Just give us a ring. Let us know if you have questions. Then all you have to do is just let us know. We'll take a look and we'll get you answers. And we can get you pre-approved for unsecured financing based on your credit without even inquiry on your credit report. We can do that. Roosevelt, when do you report to IRS and what tax advantage can I get? Roosevelt, you're asking a lot of tax-related questions, man. When I revert back to you, just questions about really tax questions that are better for an accountant than I would be able to satisfy. Is this program going to help my business that I'm trying to get established bigger and better, even if it's agricultural? Yeah, we work with agricultural. We deal with construction. I don't think I've ever done with excavation companies. Well, I'm sure we have. But yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter the industry you're in. Most of those are industries you're describing. Agriculture and construction we do a lot of work for. And there's a lot of stuff you can get too. Labor ready, you saw in there, ABC industrial supply, there's a lot of credit for those industries you feel like. I have store credit cards, good personal auto and home loan credit, never been late on anything, but those are commercial business credit accounts and cards backed up by my personal. Yeah, it sounds like you have a guarantee. We can help you get credit, Maria, without the personal guarantee, but we can also help you get credit that reports on your consumer credit report, a business instead of you. You applied for the unsecured loan. how long does it take the credit history to be, it depends, on what kind of credit history you have, but they want you to have it for probably a year to 2 years to get the unsecured financing. But if you have a mortgage and auto, sometimes you don't have to have credit.
Justice is served, to the extent it
We
ever
can look
can
at
be
it.
these days.
We can get you
Our
pre-approved
prospect can rest easy
in
now.
3
We're
hours
being
on that
contacted by our
program
potential
with
recruit,
no inquiries
patching them
on your
through now.
Anyway, I owe you a favor now.
Well, you want to repay us? Then join us. We need man them like you.
Yeah, depending
Fine.
on how many accounts you have, you have
I'm
a
in.
mortgage and auto, etc. You have to look at it a little bit more. I've got a DUNS number, but canceled them because it's too expensive. I would too with no benefit to pay them, and they didn't tell me they won't. Did get reports from most of my vendors that I use. We can help you with that. Some of them might have reported to another one. Credit Builder has a lot of problems. A lot of people have a hard time actually getting accounts added to Credit Builder, Josh. That's something we hear of a lot. It's like, Eric, how can we do that? How can we do the ultimate discount? Just give us a call, 877-600-2487, info@creditcrew.com. We'll have to manually process that because I don't have a special link to that for the webinar. I'm going to need to make sure that you get access to it. That's his own. Okay, great. Been talking to Bob. Bob's awesome. Bob Corbett and I go back a long way. Bob and I worked together in my consumer credit business many years ago, and then I invited him to come join us on the business credit side, and he loves it. So excuse me how long, and I think I just asked that question. Is a tax office high risk? Yes. Anything in financial services is. Real estate agents, mortgage brokers, tax, etc. They're all considered. And me too. Just considered all licensed by those as well. Were you referencing adding age trade line reports to software like Google, stating that it is not advisable? I don't advise that. Look, there's a big difference between consumer and business credit. Everybody yells at me when I talk about this topic. They get mad. So consumer credit, look, that's your world. That's I'm only speaking. In the business credit world, if you pay for trades, yeah, if D&B knows you will, they shut down your credit profile. We see it happen all the time. And once they shut down your credit profile, you have to start over with a new entity. Yeah, if you buy a shelf course or buy trades and D&B knows you did, that is what it's called. Hey, maybe you get away with it a year down the road, even if they know they shut you down. I might start doing some real estate wholesaling and rehab rentals later on when we get more established. Josh, it's a great plan, and business credit's great for that. We can help you get financing through a house to seller program to flip properties. You'll have to do a few clicks first, and there's other financing we can maybe help you get to do that. And then we have all kinds of credit you can use to be able to fix these things, right? Home Depot, Lowe's, labor ready. So we can help you get business credit to get all the materials you need to do it. And that's a big industry. We do a lot of real estate investors. Real estate investors and real estate agents are two of our top industries. A lot of do you offer credit card stacking? Yes. We do. We don't do it ourselves. We work with finance sources that do, and we work with ones that absolutely we tested that get the most amount of money in the fastest time. So yes, we do that, and that's part of our program. So just give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditcrew.com. If you use your good personal credit, you have to give the PC, yeah, unless you have good business credit. The only way you get around a PC is to have really good established business credit. If you don't have really well established business credit, you're going to have
Come in, Pilgrim.
Do you
So
recommend
come in, Pilgrim.
someone else's credit card as a home user or a Home Depot account?
Say what?
On the consumer side,
I can't hear you.
Family member. On the business side, if it's somebody that you're close to, maybe. But if you're just buying trade lines, no, that can get you in all kinds of trouble. Jim says if I just go with the core package for now, yeah, you can always upgrade at any given time. Absolutely, you can. If you want to offer business credit at another time. So, Jim, the way I answer this is real simple. Do you know one or two or more entrepreneurs around you that would want to buy finance? If you're like, oh yeah, dude, yes, absolutely, then you might want to consider CIP because one or two sales pays for you own a home at a fast rate. But if you don't have people around you that own businesses that would be interested, well, then VIP might not work for you now. But yeah, you can upgrade at any given time whenever you want to. Yes, a lot of people do that. What if with this discount in place, I'll definitely be partnering this week on the consumer side. That's awesome. I'm really excited to work with you, and Bob will take very good care of you. What about Twilio phones? Twilio's fine. Google Voice is the only one we found that seems to be some kind of issue. What services that TrueBuild offer are different than what Credit Suite offer? I don't know. I mean, look, I can't really speak to that. tell you that if you go to look up True Build's reputation with Rip-Off Report, Better Business Bureau, those type of things, that might tell a different story. True Build's just different than us, you know? We offer a high-end service they don't. Our technology is, seven, eight figures, millions of dollars we've invested into it. They don't have technology like we have. They only deal with business credit. They don't deal with loans. They don't have a full service program if you do it yourself. If you want a do-it-yourself program, well, then let us know. We can cut our advisors out and cut parts of your investment out. But I'll tell you, the minute you cut advisors out of the process, you really don't get as good a result. You don't get it nearly as fast. And we've heard a lot of people come from them that, try to place questions and wait weeks or months to get answers. So I don't know, but what I can tell you is we're the only full service company out there that offers business credit, which means that you actually work with our advisors hand in hand through this process. And if you look at their technology or do a demo of how they help you do it compared to us, I think that tells a large part of the story. And of course, we have a full partner program. They don't, and again, we deal with all kinds of loans, finance officers, none of that stuff comes with that program, from what I understand. But Better Banking do a demo of their system to compare. How can you expect to see results when applying for business credit score? You're not applying for business credit score. Business credit scores will be established once you build. You'll start to get business credit scores established the minute those accounts report, which takes about 30 days. And B&B, you'll need 3 accounts before you see it. I use a UPS address as my company mailing address. Would it be okay to set up a virtual address for business credit? You can, but you want to change all the addresses on your bank statements, your utility statements, your online listings, everything to the virtual address. UPS address is going to get you denied all day long. Buy, sell, lease solutions. Think that name lease. No, you can have an issue that doesn't reflect that you are in a high risk industry. Dan, I'm starting a real estate company doing fix and flip property management. We talked about fix and flip just a minute ago. Is our loan going to work well for buying rental property? We have something called no. First, you need a mortgage for that. We have a property called a house for seller program. This is fix and flip. If you're buying and holding, you're going to need mortgages for that. But we can help you get financing to put the 35% down and then get a mortgage for 65%. We don't deal with residential real estate, but you can definitely do that. Love your webinars, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lots of helpful info. Thank you. I really appreciate that. If I'm out of state business to real estate investing from this program, what that can work for any business, especially in that in the industry. Tire construction, general contractors, no, they're not high risk at all. No, they're not. If I do monthly payments on the alternate, are the payments monthly? You can choose. We do weekly payments and monthly payments, so whichever you want, we can do that for you. Very helpful. I appreciate that. After bankruptcy, when should you apply? Bankruptcy doesn't matter in our world. So again, you can start building business credit regardless. And again, there's a difference there between a personal and business bankruptcy. What was a real estate investing company that was called Renatus? Is the name of the real estate training company. Renatus, Renatus. How long should a client wait? Nice. After bankruptcy, when should you apply? How long should a client wait? It doesn't matter. On personal bankruptcy, it doesn't matter because we don't look at personal credit. For business bankruptcy, I try right away. Do you need an investment for flipping houses? Can you help with that? No, I can't help with investors for flipping houses. But what I will tell you is that in a lot of local communities, there are groups, there are real estate groups that get together, and there's all kinds of investors there. We can't help you get financing for fix and flip. We have financing for that. We have unsecured financing. We have credit lines that can help. We can help you get loans and financing. But actual individual investors, I leave you to God for that. If you have good credit and you use your personal credit to speed up the process, does the store charge you the business credit report for personal credit? Yeah, all you need is 5 credit, 5 accounts line, and then you'll start to be able to get store credit without the PG. As you asked earlier, we talked about you can use the unsecured program, or you can use the vendor accounts to get those 5 accounts. Both take about the same time. Unsecured a little faster, and then once you get those, you can start to get the store credit accounts. In the beginning of the business start, just apply for the EIN number. I want to start building business credit. How can you help? Well, you already saw how we can help. I mean, what we're going to help you do is go through step 1 quickly to set up your business credibly, and we're going to walk through this process so you start getting your first vendor credit accounts right away here in step 3. And then once those report about 30 days later, you'll start to move working with. So you already kind of seen a walkthrough of our system of how it works, and our advisors will walk through that process with you to help you. I haven't had her class yet. Can't wait for Megan. Oh, you haven't really? I hear she's pretty phenomenal. Yeah, so that's good. I'm glad. I appreciate that feedback. No, that's okay. It's like I'm good. I just need to. So I appreciate it. I was supposed to stay with you on a webinar with you. Oh yeah, it's cool, man. And hard hat. I love to see. I really enjoy working with what you're doing. And again, if you plan on partnering at the beginning of October, now's the time to do it. Yeah, by the end of the year. First of all, it's a tax write-off if you work with us to begin with. And I got to tell you, please use our program. I just got an email from them the other day freaking out about how awesome the customer service was. They talked about the world where it's all automated and how good the service is. But he's just a great, great guy. I'm glad you're interested in payments. He's really, really strong guy. I really appreciate that. All right, so build credit from the trade vendor credit level about how much you roughly estimate you need to spend on these vendors. Some of them have requirements of $50. Some of them don't. And I always recommend spending 50 for every vendor. So let's say you need 5 vendors, $50, $50. But again, you have to spend 50 with all of them if you don't want to, and you don't have to get 5 if you know you want to report to multiple reporting agencies. So I'm giving you a worst case scenario. You could definitely do a super report with vendors that report to multiple reporting agencies, and you have access to know whether you need to spend $50 or not. Is the trucking company high risk? Absolutely not. Trucking is one of the top 3 industries in service. You get tons of fleet credit, fuel credit, etc. It's absolutely not considered high risk. Thanks, Danto. Thanks, everyone. Give me some try to get my business credit built up. I love that, Josh. And what's great about it is there's no risk to you. I mean, look, you make your first payment, we give you full access. You don't like working with our advisors and our team, then you just tell us you want to cancel. Cancel, you don't lose anything. But look, if you're serious about doing this, you can see, guys, we don't mess around. Our advisors have helped so many people build business credit in this business. We're so knowledgeable. Our technology is phenomenal that you'll see mapping out the process. We don't mess around with what we do. What we do works. You just have to make sure you're committed. Committed or not. If you're not committed to this being a process, then don't come. We do not want to work with you. This is a process. You are building business credit. Yes, you can do it in 6 months or less, but you've got to be committed to the process. Step 1, boring. I don't even do it. Just set up their business credit list. But this is why every other business guy is alone. So, if you don't do things the right way to get denials, if you follow our steps, you get them pretty quick. It's that simple. But you have to be with us and realize it's a process. If you are, we'll get along really well. You'll love it. And then if you come in and go, hey, where's my $250,000 credit line without taking any action, well, then, it's not for you. If you're willing to take action and work with us and succeed, you'll get a lot of success early on. If not, then it's probably not right. It is a process. But again, that's what's nice about the guarantee. You got nothing to lose. Check it out. As a startup with limited to no funds, what's the best route to get business credit? Just give us a call. We've got programs that we don't even list on our website where we can help you. We have to remove our advisors to maybe make it affordable for you, but it's still much easier than you trying to do it on your own. So we do have options, even if you have limited funds. As a matter of fact, we have a program we call the No Funds Program that we can even help work with you, but we can't help you solve problems you won't tell us about. So if you communicate with our team, give us a ring or email us and let us know. We will work through that for you to figure that out. Ring Central, okay for phone? Yes, we recommend them. They're awesome. You have to spend more than $50 a vendor. Some vendors you need to spend 50, some you don't. We recommend a virtual address vendor. Virtual address vendor. You go to creditsuite.com/virtual. Creditsuite.com/virtual, and that's our recommended virtual address provider. If you have a phone number through Ring Central, should I change it to your company? No, Ring Central is great. Keep it with you. We love it. I had to shut my business down. Sorry to hear that, man. That's hard. That's sad. A few years ago, due to an injury, I never used credit at all. I have the corporation license, but I'm really starting over again. My personal credit's in the tank, and I never had business credit. Can I get? So yeah, absolutely. Use your existing business. Oh, firearms definitely high risk. So, holy cow, what a foolish again. But just make sure your name doesn't reflect that firearms. That'll give you all kinds of problems with getting credit you know. But again, we can help you through step 1, and the personal credit issues won't matter. And work with a credit service on the 15th. They can help you recover. I'm not that guy, but there are some love the website as well. Love your webinar. Stephanie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We purchased the credit suite this year, and we're learning a lot. That's awesome, man. I'm so excited that you're having such success. Thank you. Go to meetup.com, and I'm sorry, that is not a question. It's not a question, but I'm not exactly. Meetup.com. So Sean is helping somebody to answer the question of where you can get real estate investors, and he's recommending meetup.com. I'm pretty sure Sean, if I'm wrong, correct, but I'm pretty sure. If you share a virtual address with another business that you're starting, will that show as a negative? It's a problem. Business credits built under your business name and address. So if you have two companies using the same address to build business credit, it will create all kinds of issues. That. Will the financing credit allow you to go to a foreclosure auction in 2-3 days to pay for property? You're not going to, I'm not exactly sure what place you go to pay for property. Yes, we have a lot of funding programs, credit lines, and loans to help you buy property. Yes. If you're asking to do it in 2-3 days, we have some credit lines that can be delivered to you in 2-3 days. Others might take 2 weeks or more. So hopefully that answers is a firearms dealer's business. It's not risky. It is a high risk industry, and you want to try to keep firearms out of your name the best you can. Do you report your payments from we don't. We're working on it. We will with credit safe in January. The problem is we deal with business credit risk. So we're trying to work with Experian to get set up as fast as can be. The problem is that if you're in credit building, if you deal with business credit as a business, they won't let you deal with business credit support. That's just kind of the way the world is, right? Like if you deal with consumer credit repair, the consumer credit reporting agencies won't let you access consumer credit reports. If you deal with business credit building, business credit monitoring, even NAB, for example, can't report to the reporting agencies with credit monitoring because in their own file, Experience part owner of the business. So the bottom line is that if you're in that business credit building, you really just can't support business credit cases. Although we will all work on that. In January, we'll report some credit cases to up and coming reporting agencies, and we're working on the others, but I don't know if it'll ever happen because of the industry that we're in. Thank you for all the info and support, the email. I appreciate that for support. Getting the email, which will have to figure it out. And Sean said yes to that question. That was Meetup for real estate investors. We're on the website, but we have a business, email.com. Do we need a website? Yes, we do need a website. It's simple. Our advising team can help you through the process of getting a website fairly cheaply. There's a lot of ways to get that done. Brian, if we sign up with you to sell your services, is it like a white label? Yeah, it is white label. All the marketing and training materials are white label. Your finance suite, see, I don't have a logo here, but it has your logo, your branding. Our advising team, all of our emails and stuff come from the address login.com. Same as our login URL you can see here, and that doesn't link back to any company. So it's a complete 100% white label program in your name. Does revenue or lack of it cause denials of credit? Not for business credit, no. But there are some loan credit lines that have revenue that won't be mentioned for business credit. Need to set up a separate company to report. Look, it's not like we haven't thought of that before, but we just don't do that, man. We don't operate in any kind of gray area. We are black and white. If we're going to get the ability to report payments, because they're going to know who we are, know what we do, and give us the ability on the front end to do it. So we're working on it. Literally right now, we're under review. The problem, believe it or not, I swear to you this is the case. I can't believe it. I just was talking to my Experian rep about this today. He said that the reason we are denied the report is that we are in the credit repair space and we sell trade lights. That's how far off they are from understanding our business model. So I can assure you we're trying to work with the reporting agencies to work. It's just they either don't like it because we deal with business credit, or they instantly think we're in consumer credit repair, even though obviously we don't even deal with consumers or deal with credit repair, or deal with consumer credit. So we run into these kind of issues, but I assure you that we're trying to come in the front door and do it the right way. We just wouldn't do it away with opening up a second company. We just don't operate that way. If we have a local number, do we need a toll-free number? Yes, you should have toll-free. Yes, you should have facts. Both make sure you're trusted and credible. That is meetup.com. Yes, that's correct. You guys are awesome. I appreciate that. That's awesome, by the way. Thanks, Brian. Roosevelt, how do you get a vehicle vendor credit financing for purchase? to be transportation for your business, you can definitely do that. You need about 14 trade lines. We get you the auto vehicle financing here in step 7. But we also have equipment financing, which can work for vehicles, and vehicle financing here in the Finance My Business section as well. So that can help you as well. So that being said, that is the end of the questions. I'm going to go and wrap this up, guys. And if you have any more questions, I'm going to ask to reserve them for our sales team because I went through literally here about an hour worth of questions. And I want to make sure that I get everybody off here in reasonable time. It's already 10:30 Eastern, so I know it's not reasonable. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. If you have any questions, give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditfleet.com is our email. And if you give us a call now, we probably won't answer, but we will call you back first thing in the morning. If you send us an email, we will call you back in the morning. Be patient with us. We literally had hundreds and hundreds of people on here. So we will be talking to a lot of people tomorrow, a lot of people that got blocked out couldn't get in, et cetera, et cetera. So please, make sure that you're a little patient with us in the morning. Our team should be reaching out probably first thing. If you leave a voicemail, if you send an email, we'll be reaching out first thing. If you try to just call tomorrow or email, you might run into voicemail because we're calling the people back. So if you want to get the fastest response from our team, give us a call or leave it in voicemail now or send an email now. Then our team will get in first thing in the morning and respond to emails and phone calls. And other people that are trying to call or email in tomorrow will take less priority than the people that already have. That's just the way that our front end guys work the people that come in, or work with the people that come in. So make sure if you want to speak with somebody in the morning, give us a call, send us an email. Remember, the special is valid through this week. Friday at midnight, it will expire. You're probably going to go to the webinar page. The account down top, we don't mess around. When that expires, then we basically take down the URL and an offer expired sign comes on the door, and then people call and have all kinds of excuses and want to see exhibits. We don't. If you probably worked with us before, you know that. You also know that we just don't offer many specials and discounts, guys. We don't need to. What we have is a phenomenal service, and the reality is, I don't care how you look at it, it's cheaper to work with us than do this on your own. It's very simple, because you're going to pay for a lot of things that are included in our service for free or as a discount. Will save you a ton of money, and without a doubt, you're going to get much faster results working with us than trying to do this on your own. Otherwise, you're going to run into all kinds of issues, not have somebody to help you, and you're going to spend months of time wasted waiting for people to report that don't report, waiting to get answers to questions that you don't know. With us, we're giving you the fastest path to build business credit, and we're going to help you with capital. So if you can qualify for loans now because you have some type of revenue, cash flow, or collateral, or cash flow, good credit, or collateral, we help you get financing now. If you don't, we still work with you to develop a blueprint to get financing. So it's an all-in-one place. My vision is to make sure that capital is accessible to the small business owner, because it wasn't accessible for me. You know what? I was brought up to not complain about problems or not willing to propose solutions. The credit suite is our solution to the problem. It's designed to help you get money through technology and through advisors and finance team and working with every legitimate lender that's out there today, helping you build business credit. We have a full-time researching team. All they do is research through lenders and add them. That's why we're constantly adding new programs. Just this month alone, to give you an idea, December alone, we are adding 12 new sources into the finance suite. We just added 4 new vendors into step 3 literally this week. So we're constantly adding new loans, new credit line sources. We're adding new business credit sources, so you always have access to the most.
My predictive subroutines detect an imminent threat in this area. Stick around. Your services may be needed.
Awesome. That will help you through this process. When I have questions I don't know, I go to my team and they help me. So you get it all, and we will work with you closely to get you the best results with business credit, I promise, and financing. Not everyone can put in that work. Go to creditfleet.com and just look at credibility. We give you a link to our BBB. We give you a link to Trustpilot. These are real reviews. You can see where people left them. You can see what they say. There's people leaving bad reviews. We can't even get rid of them on Trustpilot. What you see is what you get. There's a reason we have an A+ BBB rating with no complaints from a client ever online. Because of 2 things. One, we do exactly what we say we're going to do. We've seen exactly what you're going to buy before you buy it. You test it out. And 2, we give you a guarantee. If you don't want it, you try it out and don't like it, tell us. We refund your money. No harm, no foul, no problem. This is the process. You need to be in it, be committed with us. not committed, we're not going to try to keep you in there to keep your money. The money's not that important to us. What's important is to help people get real results. You're somebody that wants to work with you to get those results. If you are, then we will work with you through this process. So give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com, and we will help you through the process, get started. If a payment that you see at creditsuite.com, full discuss webinar on affordable, don't just give up. Give us a ring. Tell us what's on your mind. Let us work with you. You'd be surprised. We've got programs we even list on our website where we could have you buy these database for people that really don't have a lot of money. Or if you're on a budget or need to work out something special, we can. If you're doing one payment, things like that, well, then we even give you a ton of extra one payment incentives. And remember, if you're coming in on our VIP program, guys, it's 1 to 2 sales you pay to get your own enrollment and make a profit. So if you know of even a few entrepreneurs that could be interested, we can get you on board, trained within a day to sell. We even help you close, and 1 to 2 sales, boom, you make your money back, and you're good to go. You're profitable, and you're basically free at that point. Plus, we help you get financing for all your friends and people you know to bring to them without even paying. As part of our executive program, they don't have to buy it. So it's everything we do. We'll build the business credit, to get money, get credit lines, with our advice, with our time on team. And then you also get the ability, it's the only platform that even exists in the world to resell business credit and financing as well. And let our team even walk you through it if you'd like. We've got videos on our website that'll give you more details of all the marketing we do. Years worth of social media content, years worth of email script campaigns, flyers, PowerPoints. Literally, you make a franchise, the equivalent of 25, 30,000 that you pay for any other franchise, for literally less than $4,000 if you want to offer business credit financing. So you'll never find anything else like that or as all-inclusive as we have. So that being said, give us a ring, send us an email. Good night. Thank you. I thank you, everybody, for thanking me. Thank you very much for your thanks. And just if you have strategies to pull cash out of the future fund, yes, we do. We work with finance workers that will help you take almost 100% of the cash out. If you get approved with $100,000 on those personal guarantee accounts, we can help you what we call liquidate the account and take the physical cash out. Any other questions, guys? Go ahead. Let us know. It is sweet. It's awesome. I'll move past the credit card. A lot of stuff we can do. I'm not going to answer any other questions, but if you do have any other questions, make sure you give us a ring, send us an email, info@creditsuite.com, 877-600-2487. We will get the playback of this webinar tomorrow, just so everybody knows. So that will be available tomorrow. I will send it to you all because you stayed here. I appreciate all the thanks, the great webinar, the feedback. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the engagement. This has been an awesome experience spending with you. And I will sometimes do this again in 6 or 7 months. Literally, I only do one of these about every 6 months. So it'll be about another 6 or 7 months before you'll see this. Obviously, I do regular other kinds of webinars during the days all the time that you probably are. So thank you all. Have an excellent night. I really appreciate all of you and all that you do with your solutions for people out there. I love business. I just absolutely love business. So thank you all very much. Vernon says on Periscope tomorrow. You know it. Periscope at 4 o'clock Eastern and Facebook Live at Thursday at 11 o'clock. So I'll see you all then. Make sure you give us a ring, 877-600-8487, info@creditsuite.com. Thanks, everybody, very, very, very much. I hope you all have a great night, and I look forward to all of you working with you closely to help you build business credit and financing. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. How do you build business credit in 2021? That is exactly what we are going to jump into in today's training. You're going to learn how to plus, but by the end of this training, you're going to know what business credit is. You're going to know how it works. You're going to know the benefits that provide you. You're going to know the step-by-step formula for 2021 to be able to get credit to the business EIN that's not linked to your personal social. I'm going to show you how to get business credit when you can't get any other kind of financing. I'm going to show you how to get business credit without a personal guarantee, without a personal liability, separating your consumer and your commercial credit. And I'm going to teach you how to get business credit regardless of personal credit, without a personal credit check. And so whether you got good or bad personal credit, you're able to build business credit without personal increase in your business credit report and without your consumer credit quality controlling the actual results you get while you build business credit. So a lot of things we're going to cover today. Let's jump in. Today we're going to talk about exactly how you can build business credit to your EIN that's not linked to your personal social security number in 2021. All new vendors, update on process, everything you need to know. We're going to be diving into talking about how to beat the banks to unfundable. They have a secret formula they don't want you to know about that they look at to determine if you should be approved for money, how much money you should get, and the rates and terms you should pay. We're going to decode that formula to help you get the most money at the best terms for your business. We're going to talk about how anybody can build business credit. If you have a business in the United States, you're going to be able to compete. It doesn't matter if you're a for-profit, nonprofit. I'm going to show you how to get that done. We're going to talk about brand new vendors that are our personal favorites here in 2021. Some of these ones have now come back. They used to be our favorites, but are now reporting. And a lot of cool things that will help you build business credit without having to provide a personal guarantee or credit check to get the initial credit on your business credit report. And we're going to talk about how you get high limit revolving credit cards as well in your business name, not linked personally. How to do all this with no credit check. How to do all this with no personal guarantee. And we're also going to talk about how to get approved for up to $150,000 in credit lines for a startup business that will help jumpstart your business credit building process. A lot of questions are going to come in along the way. I'm going to have literally thousands of people here in the webinar and in the live stream. So if I don't get to your question, I'm not ignoring you. I'm going to get through this, and then we're going to end. I cleared a whole hour after this just to make sure that I have time to answer all your questions. Somebody's asking right now how to do it. So we're going to cover that today as well as many other things. So look, you're in the right place if you're looking to get money to grow your business. If you've tried to get money before, a loan, a credit line, building business credit failed, I'm going to decode how you can succeed there. If you want the easiest and fastest way, if you want to take years of business credit building and condense it to months, but I'm going to give you the formula for that as well. If you want your business to fund itself, so you don't need the person to be the signer for all the money that you're getting in the business, we're going to decode how to make that happen. If you want to get away from those personal guarantees, and if you want to get the most money for your business at the best terms, I mean the lowest rate and the longest term to get you the lowest payment, all of that we're going to decode the formula today. You're going to get it all. I won't dive in and tell you a lot about myself. I can just tell you that along the way, we helped about 42,000 business owners with this process. It's very important. There's a lot of gurus on YouTube and other places, that have succeeded doing something for themselves, and they're teaching you what they do. Thank you to all those people that learned something and teach the rest of us entrepreneurs how to do it. I am not that guy. I'm the guy that's here going to tell you how we helped 42,000 people through this process, and all of the knowledge that we've gained from helping those 42,000, I'm now here to pass on to you to teach you the end result of the fastest way to achieve it. We were Best Entrepreneurial Company in 2018 by Entrepreneur Magazine, 85,000 in 2019 and 20, A-plus rated with the DED, and we are not accredited. That means we didn't buy our A-plus. We earned it because we don't have complaints. We have hundreds of reviews online, hundreds of actual results and case studies on our website. I'll show you many today as well. And features oftentimes on radio, TV shows, podcasts, Entrepreneur Week, boards, those type of publications. I only tell you this so you know that I'm credible and that we are credible to have this conversation with you today about how you can succeed with building business credit. So if you're staying to the end of this training, there's several things you're going to get. You're going to get a playback of this event with prices. You're going to get 30 days of free business credit model with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. They charge $249 for that. I'm going to get you your report at no cost. And I'm going to get you set up the no-cost consultation with our team. If you ever look at our reviews online, you'll see most of our reviews are about this phenomenal experience you will get on the consultation with us. I'm going to get you all of that if you're staying to the end of the series and show you how to tap into all of that. So, look, let's talk about the problem. Getting money for a business is hard. Per the Bureau of Labor Statistics, more than half of businesses will fail in 5 years or less. 82% of them are basically failing because of issues with cash flow, and 90% of business owners agree that the ability to get loans is difficult for them. As a matter of fact, a large percentage of business owners, this is what keeps up at night is thinking about the financial problems of the business. How are we going to get the money to actually grow the company? That's the problem that we are here today to solve. So how do you succeed in getting money? Well, we figured it out with three very specific things you must do if you want the most money, the best things in your business. First, you have to be able to actually set up your fundability the right way. There's this criteria that lenders and credit issues look at, and they determine if you should be approved, how much you should get, the rates and terms you pay. Those fundability requirements changed in 2020, obvious due to COVID, and now it's a whole new world in 2021. We're going to decode that today. You also need to get business credit through EIN that's not linked to your social. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to go get a car loan, trying to get a credit card, trying to get a mortgage, and having bad credit or no credit established. Very difficult to do. Same thing in the business world. Building and getting money for your business is very difficult to do if your business doesn't have a credit report that reflects it's responsible enough to pay bills. This is why you have to establish business credit. I'm going to decode that today. And the third part is you have to be able to access capital in one place. Look, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of different lending opportunities out there. But if you go to most of these lenders' websites, they don't even tell you what their approval criteria is. So you don't know that one's based on consumer credit quality, one's based on your cash flow, one's based on your collateral. So you have to be able to have access to all capital in one place. And by the end of the training, I'm going to teach you how to access that as well today. If you do these three things, that's what will help you get the most money at the best terms for your business. And I'm going to teach you today how to do all of that. And again, a lot of you have questions and comments coming in. I'm not neglecting you. I promise you I'll get to you. I'm going to hang out at the end. You have me for a full hour to make sure that all your questions are answered. So let's talk about fundability. So think of it like this. If you've applied for a credit card before, you've either received an automated approval or you received that dreaded message, you feel hereby bailiff sends to date. I laugh when I say that because that has never worked out well for me. I always get the mail and it says they turned me down and what bureau they told. So we understand that instantaneous is what an instant approval or denial is what ultimately the lender's coming up with. We know somebody's not looking at it to make that decision. We understand computers are doing it. This is what we call fundability. What these computers are looking for in your application will surprise you. It surprises many people. And the reasons you get denied for credit financing will also surprise you because they're not things like you think, like your revenue or your credit. It often has to do with one of these fundability issues. So if you know what fundability is, you know what to fix and how to set up your business the right way, this will account for more than half of the denials you may see. So by fixing basic things about your business, you can take a lot of previous denials and turn around and get them into approvals just by improving fundability. Now, there's over 125 factors that we found when we dove in to figure out what makes a business fundable. You can see here, this is kind of our wheel that we created for our own internal team to understand fundability. It's never even needed to put out in the world, but I'm showing you this because this is how we look at fundability. And if we zoom in a little, see a little better, you can see that there's all these factors that lenders and credit issuers tap into to be able to determine if you're fundable or not. So we can see this little section right here, for example, LexisNexis and CheckSystem. Those are two of those 125. We're going to talk about both the LexisNexis and CheckSystem today. I'm even going to show you how to get your report and fix that stuff without having to pay for that either. So again, there's all these factors that tie into fundability, and if you set up your business where it's fundable, this is the stuff that lenders and credit issuers are looking at. This is what makes you credible. This is what makes you lendable with actual lenders and credit issuers, because this is where they see that your business is worthy of being issued a credit line, a credit card, or a loan. So you got to make sure that you fix a lot of things when we talk about fundability. Some of the changes this year is, first of all, you have to make sure your entity setup that has not changed into 2021. Lenders and credit issuers look at a corporation, a partnership, or an LLC preferably. They look at that better than a sole proprietor. You don't ever want to be a sole proprietor. You just don't. It makes it very difficult to get money. And look, I'm not an accountant. I'm not an attorney. This is not legal or accounting advice. But the statistics are that a sole proprietor gets audited 1 in 7 times by the IRS. A corporation is 1 in 50. So not only do you dramatically reduce your chances of getting audited by being a corporation, but you also look a way better for lenders and credit issuers. So be a corporation if you can. If you don't want to do that, consider an LLC or consider a partnership and avoid sole proprietorship at all costs. So the type of phone number that you use, We are looking at business phone numbers. And what I mean by this is that you don't want to come in and you don't want to use a home phone as your business phone on that. That's your finance. You don't want to use a mobile phone. You want to use a business phone number, an actual plugged into the wall business phone line they set up, or you can use a voice over IP or what's called a voice phone, but you still want to avoid Google Voice into 2021. I don't know what the deal is, but for some reason we see a lot of vendors, a lot of credit issuers not liking Google Voice numbers. So that's one thing that can get you denied for credit financing. So you can use things like Ring Central, you can use Freedom Voice. There's a lot of these voice numbers out there that you can get. Make sure you get a phone number. Make sure it's toll-free. Lenders and credit unions still look at toll-free numbers as being more credible than non-toll-free numbers. So have a toll-free number even if you're a local business. You don't really need to have a business fax number. I've always said in the past that one of the fundamental requirements of the business fax number, it does look better if you have one, but it's not something that we've seen people getting denied for in 2020. So if you don't have the fax number, okay, just get the phone number, get it to be listed, or get it to be toll free, and get it listed with 411. Listing that number with 411 is very, very important. This is still one of the big factors in 2021 that we're seeing credit issuers look at, especially vendors, is if your phone number is listed with 411. You can go to a company called listyourself.net, listyourself.net, I think is it, and they can actually set that up for you. I'll talk to you about how you can get that for free if you get later in the training. The type of address that you can set up for your business. You still need a physical business address if you can get one. You still need a virtual address. I know COVID has moved a lot of business into the home, but the credit issuer and lenders have not changed their perception here, where a business with a real physical location looks more credible to them than a home operated business. Not me. You're teaching you what lenders and credit issuers are looking for. So you really need to make sure that you have a business address, like a retail location. If you don't, consider a virtual address. Our favorite is still Alliance. You can go to Da Vinci, you can go to Regis. They'll all help you get addresses that make it look like you're in a big high-rise building in Dallas, Texas, when really you're working from your home. You're just using that address for mail purposes. You get mail, they scan it in, they email it to you. You still have the benefit of making it look like you're in a big physical location, even when you're not. Now, in 2021, we are seeing Dun & Bradstreet make a bigger move to putting Google Street View of your business on your business credit report. So remember, if your home address is your business address, and that's what you're using, and that's what you're telling the bureaus it is, then you can expect to see a Google Street View of your house on your commercial credit report in the months and years to come. We see that in 2020, DMV was experimenting with that, and we're starting to see that happen more and more as we move into 2021. Type of licensing you have. If you have a license, there's a lot of credit issuers that look more favorably on your business. Don't know why. But if you can have a license, it makes you look more legit for the credit issues. In Florida, you can get an occupational license in a county, even though you're not required to. So getting occupational license, getting a license in your industry, in your state, in your county, definitely helps and goes a long way. Today I'm going to teach you about a vendor that will give you like a $2,500 credit line just because you have a business license. Congruency of record still remains in 2021 the number one fundability factor you need to focus on. The reason most of us get denied is because we fill out an application with information. The lender and the credit issuer automatically defaults to thinking that it is a fraudulent application because most applications they get are fraud. And it's even worse through 2020. So all these fraudulent applications come in and you submit yours, and they're trying to see if yours is fraud or not. So what they do secretly behind the scenes is they take all the data from your application and they're checking data against these secret credit reports I'm going to teach you about today, these secret databases they keep it, and they're just seeing if the information matches it. If it doesn't match, then what happens is they automatically assign the application as fraud and they kick it to somebody for manual review. And now, if you're that person and the computer just said this is a fraudulent application, you got to really not like your job. If you're going to say, no, computer, you're wrong, that application is fine. So most of those manual reviews result in denials because if the computer thinks it's fraud, that person is usually not going to quantify the decision. It all happens because of an incongruency of what's actually happening online. Remember Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax, they're getting information from your Facebook page, from your social media pages, from your website. They have crawlers that are crawling the yellow pages. They're looking for all of this. You've got to make sure all that information is congruent. especially with your Secretary of State. This is where almost 90% of entrepreneurs mess up. They set up their Secretary of State records, their business entity. Then they get their business address and phone number. Then they never go back to the Secretary of State and update it. You got to make sure that you do that. If you don't do that, then the very first place that they compare your application to is Secretary of State. And the first thing they find is your name, your address, your phone number doesn't match. They think the application is fraud, and you're denied. It's not because of your credit. It's not because of your revenue. It's because you're enough. Client after client after client after client we help. We fix basic fundability stuff I'm teaching you today, and they go to this clear source that I just denied them, and they get approved. So you've got to make sure that you fix this congruency, especially with Secretary of State. It's one of the biggest reasons you're getting denied and getting bad terms, and you don't even understand or realize what's happening. The type of references you have. You need to set up a business bank account quickly in your business. You need to have a bank reference that you can use on these applications. As we get into 2021, more and more credit issuers want you to have a reference from your bank on that application. So they're going to be asking you for it more than they ever have before. Whether your bank account is set up or not, you have to have a business bank account set up. So many things, from your check system credit score to a bank rating, which you can determine if you can get loans, to all kinds of loans that are available for things like revenue lending. It's all based on you having that business bank account set up. And if I had to tell you 2021, one of the top five things to do to make the business fundable, having a business bank account set up would definitely be in the top five, if not the top three. You've got to get that done. The way your website and email are set up, make sure you have a professional website set up. Don't set it up on like a web URL. You need to own your own URL. Very important to me is having an audio issue. So everybody else, if you're able, if you hear me okay, if you're in the webinar, let me know if you can hear me okay. If you don't mind, because I've got some people with some audio issues. Yes, okay. So it looks like those audio issues might be on your end. If you're in the webinar and having a hard time hearing, which that might not be okay, because everybody is saying that the audio is okay, so my apologies if they might be having issues. It might be on your local end. Okay. And the numbers you have. You need to have a DUNS number set up. To teach you today how to get it out of no cost. You need to have an EIN. Believe it or not, you can be business and not have an EIN. So you need to have an EIN set up, and that is something that I'll teach you today how to do. Actually, I'll leave you. Go to IRS.gov to do that. And you need to have a BIN number, a business identification number set up with experience, and that's something that I'll teach you how today to get that BIN number set up as well. So even if you're fundable, you can still be denied, as I mentioned, because of potential fraud concerns. So let me explain to you again and what happens. Lenders and credit issuers get your application. They pull secret credit reports behind the scenes. They match the credit reports with this information to see if it's congruent. Some of the stuff comes from Lexington, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Equifax, and Texas. Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian are business or commercial credit reporting agencies. They're just like Experian, Equifax, Experian on the consumer side, but they populate credit reports for business. You know who they are. We'll talk about more of them today. LexisNexis is the root of all evil. Everything comes from LexisNexis, guys. Law enforcement, insurance companies, lenders, credit issuers are all pulling information from LexisNexis. Let me give you an example, a recent example. Okay, I had a new watch, and I went to get it insured. I got denied for the watch because of my LexisNexis insurance score being too low. It just happened to me a week ago. So I called them up and said, I know about LexisNexis. Why is it denied? I got from them, they're not even looking at the data. They're not even looking at it. They're just looking at the score. So she couldn't even tell me. The underwriter, I'm talking to an underwriter, can't even tell me what the data says, just tells me my score is too low. That's fine. That gives me enough information to go get my insurance report with LexisNexis and my score, address anything that's concerned, and then go back and apply, and I will get denied. That's why you need to know this stuff. You know where they're getting the information, and you know then how to fix it. You can come in, you can get it fixed, then you can turn around and you're able to get approved. Check systems is what is used. It is a report and score that actually looks at how you actually manage your bank account. So you need to know about that. And the SBFE, they are something you really need to know about. The SBFE is a third-party data aggregator that is owned by its members. Its members are banks. Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, they're all members of SBFE. SBFE has a very simple philosophy give to get. If you want to be a member of FTFE and get information, you have to be willing to give all Bank of America, that goes into FTFE, and Bank of America is sharing it with every other bank. So if you go to apply for a credit card and you think the revenue is $1,000 a year, and Bank on your Bank of America application, then you go to apply with Wells Fargo and the revenue is $350,000 a year. What you might not know is that Wells Fargo and Bank of America see on each other's applications. That happens because of FTFE. All information from what you put on the application, how you pay your bills with that loan, credit line, or credit card, all gets funneled into FTFE and every bank process. So we don't realize this. So we oftentimes we change a thing on an application like a revenue a little or this a little or that a little. When banks beg, we actually get a denial, think we learn lessons and go back.
Oh, you want me to grab the plate?
To the next source. What we don't understand
Looking for money?
FTFE is all sharing it anyway. They all know what you put on the other lender's application. So this is part of why you're getting denied, because they're all sharing information through these third-party data.
Sure, where'd I go?
And then they know what you don't think they know, and they
Right
oftentimes think the application is fraudulent because that information is not true. How a lot of denial happens. Now, if we look at LexisNexis, here's some things that are on your LexisNexis credit report. If you've never seen it, it is the most intrusive thing you will ever see in your life. Mine is over 300 pages thick. I can grab it right now and pull it up at the book. Here's some of the stuff that's on there. Every home you've ever owned, the value of the home, the sales prices, the building materials of your home, the homeowners association, the number of bedrooms, bath, roof, AC units, fees, mortgages, title companies, interest rates, loan amounts, loan types from every mortgage, every phone number, email address you've ever had in your license you have, firearms, voting, mortgage, pilot, and any violations on those licenses, traffic tickets, felonies, misdemeanors, sex offender records. Give you an example. When I went to get my SBA loan, they asked me if I'd ever been convicted of like felonies, misdemeanors, and I said no, I'm a straight shooter. Okay, and then they came
PlayStation,
back and said, sorry, you actually have two misdemeanors on your record.
Okay, let me just type
now
that
you have to
in.
explain what happened and why you lied to us. Guys, I had to literally pull a background check on myself to even remember what they were talking about. And all this happened when I was in my teen years, when I was in the military, and I had to do a topping a wheelie on a
the back door's open, and then he's coming around with his dog.
Huh?
The back door's open, and he's gonna come around with his dog.
Oh, shit.
But 20, 30 years later, it's still haunting me because it's on my LexisNexis. I don't even think about this stuff, but it's one reason and example of how this information is hurting your ability to be able to turn around and get money. Aliases, all name variations, marriage, divorce records, every vehicle you've ever owned, every insurance policy you've ever had, the details of those insurance
Play with a, it's easy to play with a mental.
never been implicated.
Mama says sleep like pen drive.
I get
Then
denied
what?
a lot of times for bank accounts
Then
or
what?
merchant accounts. When we figured out they were getting it from LexisNexis, we deleted and had that information.
And
never
then,
had those.
but how do you do the control?
Another example of how understanding
Oh, the same
where
control?
they're getting the data and correcting it will help you. Family info, including children, loans,
Plug it in?
aircraft, and voting records,
Plug what in?
including bankruptcy.
The controller! Oh, right here?
When we went to get our SBA loan,
There, no, not that one, that was USB-C.
asked for my home as
PlayStation
collateral.
4 controller.
Very weird request considering our account was way more than the loan amount. To find out, there was two judgments on there that they didn't like that was on my LexisNexis credit report, which were not Equifax 14 for experience. Worst part, they weren't even legitimate judgments. They were wrong. So we had to go through and prove to the lender that the judgments weren't correct, then go to LexisNexis and fix that issue. But once we fixed it, our ability to get loans, credit cards, and credit lines was significantly better. One more example of where they're getting information and why having it not addressed on your part becomes a problem.
You don't want to put in.
Education information, including degrees you have, schools, dates, attended, graduated, military records, online records.
Where's the controller?
I got it already.
Where's the controller? Get on my way, please. Like in the state.
Just right there.
It's not all that's on there.
PlayStation
I
5
just
controller.
ran out of room on this.
What? It's right here.
Yeah, it's
So
right
this
now.
is the kind of stuff.
Come on the other side and like sit on your other side. Look, it's magic. You don't push anything with the keyboard. It'll actually control it.
Or even the slightest change to one fundability factor approval and denial on
You
this
just
part
got
of
that.
the the credit suite, your one-on-one spot calls you every 24 hours.
You need a charge controller. Or to plug it into the computer with that little piece I was saying about earlier.
Yeah, I know. Several years they still get called. Now, one-on-one
This one.
Yep. You still need that little piece, like I just told you.
On different marketplaces, I also was able to get a $40,000 payment. None of my accounts don't.
Why no piece of shit?
Maxed out.
You haven't found it yet?
So I was able to purchase two properties.
We don't have to look for it. It's not that important. I was going to play.
I know, but I was like sleeping.
Where?
Yeah, I was sleeping. You come up here like a motherfucking present.
And he turned around and went from getting a denial on his credit card to getting that approval.
I feel good, dog.
What the power of fundability
No.
is. It takes
You're here now.
credit lines, credit cards, loans you once applied for and got denied, and it turns around and starts making those it easier to turn those around to approvals.
Just plug in the controller to the PlayStation and charge it for a little while. If you can't find the piece, or find a controller, one of the PlayStation, one of these is gotta be charged, dog. Look at. One of these has to be charged.
Now, when you get a home loan, when you get a car loan, when you get
It's fantastic. They're fucking completely dead because everyone leaves my shit and everyone fucking cares about it.
the same applies for a business.
Just leave one of them plugged in.
Why you might not know that.
Can I plug it into the wall?
World, there's a law
Yes.
fair credit
You do it like that?
Yes.
required. If a lender pulls your credit report, first they need your permission to pull your credit report.
Calm down.
Secondly, if they pull your credit report and deny you,
You seen that box?
they have to serve you up with the letter.
Well, I know there's a box.
Why they denied you. The Fair Credit Reporting Act does not apply in the business world. It does not apply to business credit reporting agencies or business lenders and credit issues. So the problem is that first, they don't need your permission to pull your business credit report like they do consumers. So they're getting these credit reports from us and all these decisions, suppliers, lenders, credit issuers, insurance companies. We don't know they're getting it, and they're making all kinds of decisions based on the information, not telling us, because they don't need to. They're not required to tell us. They deny it because of what's gone down and gradually. So it's all happening behind the scenes. We're applying for credit. We're applying for a loan. We're getting denied, and we don't know that the reason is because our business credit quality sucks or that is not established. Now, you might say, my business credit quality doesn't suck. It could suck, and you don't even know it yet. And here's why I'm explaining it. Two other credit reporting agencies, as I'm about to teach you, will give you failing business credit scores even if you don't have any credit. So this is why a lot of times you're getting denied that loan, credit card, or credit line to be able to, that you want, because you're not able to get approved, you're not able to get the high limits that you want, you're not able to get the rates of terms you want, all because of your business credit quality. You got to fix that today during this training. So you want to get approved with business credit regardless of consumer credit quality. It's one of the huge benefits. You don't have to have a personal guarantee. I'm going to teach you how to get this credit without personal liability. Hey, there's no consumer credit inquiry. Huge benefit of building business credit. Well, even if you have great personal credit, you don't want to have inquiries on your credit report when you're trying to get business accounts. Hey, some loans, credit lines, you need to. With credit cards, you don't. If you're going to get a business credit card, you should put an inquiry on your personal credit report. And that's a big deal because those inquiries will cost you a tremendous amount of money in financing that you could get if they're not there. So I don't care if your credit's excellent or bad, you need to prevent these inquiries from happening. And in order way to prevent it from happening is to make sure they're not even pulling out consumer credit report. If you're building business credit the right way, I'm going to show you this, you're going to get limits 10 to 100 times higher than with consumer credit. A lot of our clients, and I'll show you actual approvals, are getting $10,000 limit credit cards 30 and 60 days into this process. It sounds outrageous, but it's really not.
Throw them away.
Businesses spend more money than consumers.
Throw everything fucking away.
Limits on these accounts are way higher. So not only is it easy
There has to be some plugged into PlayStation 4, but dog.
I'm not worried about it.
No, there has to be one plugged in. The longest one is plugged into the PlayStation. Use your head.
See a significantly higher approval amount than what you see on credit. Credit's very fast to get because your scores are based on how you pay your bills.
And if not, then the motherfucking elves of fucking Woodworth have come out in here and stole everything.
But the primary score they use.
Who are the elves of Woodworth? I have no clue.
Based on how you pay. If you pay them early,
Or what?
you get a 90 score. If you pay them on time, you get an 80 score. If you pay them late,
Hey!
you get a 70 score.
Sucking titties. Thank you, guys. If I'm gonna turn on, I can wake the fuck up and do something else with my life.
All we have to do is get you account the report on your business credit report that you pay on time or early. That gives you a good score.
The what?
Then we have a foundation with those accounts reporting, a good score. We use that as our foundation.
I think there's
off of to get all
gotta
the
be.
credit.
Well, that's what plug into the wall. One of the cores will work in the wall.
It's very easy to compare the consumer credit because business credit scores are primarily just based on high sustainability.
You can't have it plugged into the PlayStation while you're doing the screen right there.
They all tell you to build business credit for the same reason. You've got to
Actually, no, I think you can.
consumer and your commercial.
I think you can leave it plugged into your PlayStation, but I think it'll interfere with the TV. So you just gotta unplug the HDMI cord for the PlayStation 4. Just take out the TV, and that way it won't switch back to that. It'll stay on here. So you can use it. You can actually just use it right there. As long as it's long enough to reach that, just unplug the HDMI cord out of the back of the PlayStation 4. You got the PlayStation 4 HDMI. Oh, here, I got it.
Want to build business credit? This information is publicly accessible to anybody that wants. Lenders, credit unions, suppliers, prospects, clients, lenders, people that want to buy your business. Anybody can and will access your business credit report. So you've got to build the business credit report because this is your credibility. This is the front-facing credibility that all of these sources will see, and any of them that want to can see your business credit report. As a matter of fact, if you go to B&B, Equifax, and/or Experience, you will see that the number one thing they do on their credit report is they actually ask you if you want to get a credit report for your business or somebody else's business. So you've really got to make sure that you build your business credit report. If you don't do that, then the problem is that you don't look credible, okay? And that is one of the reasons that you need to make sure that you're actually doing this. If you don't, then what happens is you just don't have what looks like a credible business for the people that you want to make sure that you actually have a credible business set up with. So, you also need to know that you can be issued a failing business credit score even if you have no credit reporting. Okay, and that happens, and I'll show you exactly what this looks like. Experian and Equifax will create a failing business credit report and score for you even if you have no credit. Now, Dun & Bradstreet requires 3 accounts in 2021 beyond your business credit report before they'll create a score. But Equifax and Experian will create a score and one piece of what they call firmographic information. That means if they know your business name, your address, and your NAICS, your industry code, they will give you a failing credit report. Here's what I mean. 28 score out of 100, which is a failing score, $1,000 credit limit. That happens, you can see for financial stability score, about a higher risk as you can get. And this is somebody that has nothing on their business. Hold on one second. Sorry about my 2-second delay. My dog's going crazy that I didn't let her
back to the reality. Don't
Sure.
go
So, this is somebody that has no credit on their Experian commercial credit report.
He's mad at me
Still
again.
a failing score. Now, here's
Oh,
what
he's
you
just
do.
mad at me again.
You have only one account on your business credit report. You can go from a failing score to an excellent score. I'll show you. This person has a 96, almost as high as you. The credit limit is going up. And we can also see they're very low risk. And we see they only have one account on their business credit report. I'm going to show you what this account is as we get further into the website. So what I'm saying here is that one account can take you from failing score to good score. Here, I'm showing you from an actual commercial credit report what actually looks like. So you can see they went from a failing credit score.
Here's my sympathy that no longer exists.
Because they added one account on this credit report.
Okay.
Guys, this is why we're here. Think about it. Go imagine having the worst credit report you can have.
This is why I need drugs.
One account that you pay on
I'm aggro.
you can see less than $100 and going from as bad as you can get good. You can't do with anything else other than commercial credit.
Put your body mass on me again.
Commercial credit works. We've got to get good credit on the
go
credit
see what
report.
happens.
Scores are based on how they pay. Then all you have to do is pay a degree, and that gives you a good score. Now we use newly established credit reports, the good scores as the foundation to come in and get all different types of credit. So here, let me show you what else happens as we continue to do this.
Like Cool Whip or an Ice Cube.
As you continue to grow your credit, the approval amounts will get higher and higher and higher the more accounts that show on your business credit report. I'll show you how this works. So here is a $1,000 credit limit. I showed you that to begin with, right?
No one gives a fuck about you, stupid ugly motherfucker. Shut the fuck up, stupid. Look at this one. Look at Metro. It has lots of love. Dog, I'm not doing that shit right now. Let me wake up a little bit, dude. Why does it keep opening up in that fucking stupid chat? I'm already gonna fucking start breaking everything if no one gets the fuck out of my way. Hmm? Nothing, dude. I'm talking to myself. Okay? Just leave me alone, please. Just like physically leave me alone. You're good. You can see right where you're at. I just do your own thing.
It's easy to pretend I know you're not a fool. Gonna know better. Voice. I never wanna dance again. So I wanna dance with you. You.
And scene. You like that? No, that's how you do it. Good.
Oh shit, there we go, we on.
Mm-hmm. You can even join me on this game too. Every game you can join me now. We can join each other on both games now.
Oh shit.
All online. Technology.
Technology is crazy, huh?
But it's
You're really
ignorant.
good with technology too. I don't know why you can't seem to get this easy out the way.
So what? Oh my fucking god. It's always when you watch something, right? Right?
It'll benefit you, yeah?
What?
It'll benefit you.
You smell that breath?
Yeah, my breath's good now.
Let's go. Let's go. Got more than half a kill. I'm saying they're cool. It's not funny, don't laugh at me. I'm sensitive.
I don't want to press the thing button then.
What?
There's another problem we got here.
I know. You can't be pushing the middle button.
No, this. But they'll do anything else but this, like, do that, but they won't do that. They won't press X.
Then somebody, so you let you select it but not press X?
Mm-hmm.
You got some retard fingers? My fingers are smart.
Not playing. So.
Then I have no fucking clue to tell you.
You're not happy.
I'm just telling you, why would it let you select the application but not select?
You need the 5 control.
This is PS4.
No, this is PS5.
This is PS4. Okay?
Okay.
So don't tell me what it is when it's not that. This is PS5. This is the game I'm playing on the PS5.
Okay.
You know, you trip me out, dog.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Just chill. I don't understand why it's doing that. Exit the application and start again. Push the options button. Yeah. It's the way that it lets you select X but not start the game. I've never seen that before. It's probably a glitch of the game. Or we just trash. Or let me go in on my end and I'll invite you to the to a round. Okay, I don't know what to tell you, boo.
I'm not tripping on it, though.
I am, because it's not supposed to be not working. That's the good controller you have in your hand. For real. I'm tired of like nothing.